Hey guys, welcome to Market Mondays. Hopefully, you guys had a great weekend. We're going to give you a quick update on everything that's happened last week and what's expected to happen this week and moving forward. So, before I get right into it, I'm going to do a quick dad joke. Dad joke today is why does Peter Pan always flying? Why is he always flying? Because he never lands. Get it? It's probably my best joke because it never grows old. Get it? Pew pew. All right. So getting right into it. Last week we got a few inflation reports that, and unfortunately, did go up. But however, this was kind of expected. We didn't really expect it to get better just because of how it's calculated and all the replacement numbers that come in with the new updated number. But the main thing, the point out about the inflation report is yes, it went up to 2.7 from 2.4. However, there hasn't been a big impact on the tariffs. So we haven't really seen that yet. We may see it in the other next month's inflation report, but we don't see the huge impact of those tariffs just yet. Now, the other thing to note is that this is the eighth straight week that the continuing unemployment claims have reached and stayed above 1.9 million people. We've been over 1.8 million over the last year and a half almost, but this is the eighth week, 2 months of the continuing claims of unemployment to stay above 1.9 million. They went up slightly and they're at 1.956 million as of right now. But that's what's really important about this number is because we're hoping to see that number reflect on the unemployment rate. That's the main thing that's keeping rates up as high as they are. Whereas the unemployment rate goes up, we have seen in the past that the mortgage rates have gotten better. So we're going to see that in the first week of next month. Hopefully we see that soon. Not really sure when, but the last thing that's expected to come out this month is the PCE inflation report. This is the report that the Fed is keeping an eye on to see if inflation is heading toward their mandated target of 2%. Just like the inflation report that we get last week, we don't expect a lot, but if it's better than what we expected, let's say we expected to go up 0.2%, 0.2%, but the report shows that it goes up 0.1, that's still better than expected, and we could see some improvement in mortgage rates on Friday. We'll see. So that's the main thing. So right now, that's my strategy in regards to trying to figure out when to lock my clients when they're under contract is am I waiting for the PCE inflation report or should I wait for the unemployment rate? Because it could go all over the place depending on the situation. So and what we're expecting as far as the numbers go. But one of the things I want to show you guys is how rates are trending as of right now. So if I'm looking at what rates have done over the last week, we see this, rise in mortgage rates, but the last 2 days have been a lot better in regards to mortgage rates right now. So right now, what's nice is that we're still hovering, on average around the 6.5. VA rates, all government rates are lower than conventional rates, about almost 0.5%. In this case, it's about 0.4%, which is expected. But that's what we're seeing right now. Now, if we're looking towards the future, the main thing is the Fed President Jerome Powell is resigning. There is the few other Fed presidents are looking to take that position. One of the most favored one is Waller. Waller is looking to in the next July 30th meeting is looking to cut rates by 0.25%, by a quarter percent. The reason why they're looking towards that is because the PCE inflation report comes out this Friday. So they're hoping that if they see the improvements, maybe they see what they want to see enough to cut the rates by a quarter percent. They do believe they should do that depending on the situation. Right now, Jerome Powell has a lot of bad things against his record and how he's managed the fiscal policy of the American economy. His decision in keeping Fed rates at zero and then pumping a bunch of money into the economy is one of the reasons why inflation got up so high. And then they thought that rise in inflation around 5-6% was transitory when it reached up to 9, and then they finally decided to hike up the Fed rates within a year up to like 5, when it was almost far too late when it was already at 9%. So those are the kind of decisions he's making, and now he thinks that the Fed is being too restrictive and all that stuff. So they've asked him to resign. Hopefully we get better leadership in our federal economy because there's still a lot of residual impacts of all the things that he decided to do. So we hope that moving forward, the whoever takes the Fed president position is not looking at hard data, because the tough thing about hard data is like looking at the rear view mirror as you're driving. The reason why this hard data is not a good idea to look at is because it is data from literally a month ago when the report comes out. So it's already delayed, right? So what the information is important, but only picking and choosing that specific information to determine what the future economy is going to do is not a good idea. What they should be doing is looking at the rest of the impact, how the Fed rate's going to impact the economy, so on and so forth. So I remember when he was doing a chat with Oxford, I think the Oxford University in Britain, and one of the things that he said was that after all this is done, all the things that he did with the Fed funds rate and causing inflation to go up, he literally said in that meeting, like, we don't know how inflation works. And I'm like, that's not how you want not what you want to say as a Fed president, and all that. So just goes to show that he made a lot of decisions that he shouldn't have. Let's just say that. But otherwise, that's really all I got for you guys today. If you have any questions, let me know. But otherwise, nuke out.